I'm Sue Bookchin, and I'm the Executive Director of Be the Peace Institute, and with my colleague Stacy Godzo, we are your hosts for this evening. This is the third in a series of our Kids on Technology. The first one was in March, the next one was in June, and there were two main reasons why we decided to do this. One was that there was a high-profile legal case in our community about sharing intimate images. And we were concerned about some of the community response to that issue. And also recognizing that there are few public venues for people to actually talk about when that happens in our community. How do we deal with it? How do we understand it? How do we do no further harm? How do we hold it in a sensitive way? The other reason we started, and so that issue brought us, we invited some colleagues into a conversation, and that included Mayor David Mitchell of Bridgewater, who was also quite concerned about the community response. The other thing that happened is we had a project that involved bringing parents together to talk about gender conditioning and how it affects parenting decisions, about the activities you enroll your sons or daughters in, or what are the messages that we give them. And at every venue where parents got together, the issue of technology came up. And the question of how do we parent our young people in the age of technology, where technology is everywhere for them. And so we decided to host these events. We thought that there are some opportunities for young people to talk about these issues, about sharing intimate images, about human trafficking, about online pornography, the list goes on, about healthy relationships. But we thought that parents really did not have much opportunity to come together and talk about these issues. And what we heard from parents is they were really struggling about what's the right thing to do, what's the right way to govern screen time and all of the other things that we worry about as parents with our kids. And many of our colleagues in the community, that would include Harbor House and Second Story, the Sexual Health Center, Freeman House, Heartwood. There are lots of community organizations who do work with youth and also do programming with youth in schools. And we thought we really wanted to bring youth and adults together. Unfortunately, we didn't get the amount of funding we needed to do that in a big way, so we're doing what we can. We also know from the research that telling kids, just don't do it, doesn't work. And so we have invited this array of experts to help us understand how we can deal with this issue of sharing intimate images and cyber safety in ways that maybe we haven't thought of before. So this is the last in the series. We are very thrilled to have two young people on our panel who are students at Parkview, and thank Kim Whitman Mansfield from the Youth Leadership Program at the YMCA for connecting us with them. And also just to acknowledge our funders, we got some in-kind funding originally from the town of Bridgewater. We have funds from the Sexual Violence Strategy Prevention Innovation Fund. We have funds from the Community Health Board, the Lunenburg Community Health Board, and also from the municipality of the District of Lunenburg. So without them, we could not have done this series. And also just to thank all of our partners and the people who have been involved with us in the whole series. We very much appreciate your collegiality and everything that you bring. So today, our presenters have a significant amount of expert cred. And they have come today to Bridgewater, some of them from distances, for a mere honorarium, which was all we could offer. And so we very much appreciate you all being here. And we include the youth in that because young people are the experts on their own experience. And they bravely responded to our request for youth to come and speak with their own voice. keeping in mind that no one or two people can speak for a whole group of people. So let's not expect more than what we should from anybody here. So technology is embedded and essential in our lives. This is a common image that we all see. So my 88-year-old mother goes on Facebook so she can follow the escapades of her grandchildren and nieces and nephews. My 2-year-old grandson touches the screen just to see how the images change. And everyone in between uses technology in some form. We use technology to connect, to learn, to access resources that we never had access to before, to access job markets, information, and a vast array of global events that are happening. So technology is obviously beneficial, and it also has pitfalls. And the pitfalls are, there are a million variations of the risk from our dependence on technology, regardless of age, and the legal, social, and moral frameworks that should govern our use of technology really have not caught up. Even research is a very new field when it comes to technology and how it's affecting us as individuals, as communities, as humans. And we know that adults, whether you're a parent or a teacher or a caregiver or a mentor or a guide, are all struggling to keep up and help our kids be safe from the unique harms that technology can cause. And we know that our young people are grappling with new pressures and also the worries and the fears and the demands of the adults in their lives. So no one has the answers. And so Peter Block, who is a person who writes a lot about community, has often said, whatever the question, community is the answer. And so we feel like this is an opportunity for us to learn together, to talk together, because no one has an answer, but together we can figure out more. We can understand more about these activities, we can understand what our young people are experiencing, and we can figure out how to respond in ways that we won't be causing further harm, so that we can keep our kids safe and respond with care to them, so that ultimately our young people can thrive and be all they can be. And we thank you for being here, for your commitment to peaceful communities, and for bringing your ideas and your intelligence to this important conversation, because we are all needed.